We are there, I promise. This is the part with yes! Our new seating layout, it's more our boudoir.
I want this. Can I take this with me?
It's not a real cushion.
It's not a real cushion?
No.
Hi everybody.
So if you just introduce yourselves and tell us what character you play on the show.
I'm Ross Mullen and I play the White Walkers seasons 2, 3, and 4.
I'm Andy Carter, I play Oliver.
Conan Stevens, I've played the Mountain Sir Gregor Clegane, sorry.
I'm Terry Ingram and I play Shireen Baratheon.
And I'm Josephine Gillen and I play Murray, the prostitute in the
roving mic then, so if you want to ask a question, get your hands in the air and one of our microphones will find you. Who's going to kick off then with the first question of the day? Oh yeah, here we go, some brave people in there. Harry's going to have to run. This is his workout in day, so it's fine.
God, there's so many people in there.
This one's the prostitute.
It's Murray.
Do you find it like slightly awkward that probably all of us assume your breasts?
No, I'm very proud of my body and I'm not embarrassed at all, as you can see on the show. I'm just really open. I mean, I can do it, but there's a lot of children in the room, so I can't. Sorry.
I weren't expecting that question at all, really.
Not from a child, no.
Now I've got that one out of the way.
Yeah.
Next question.
To the prostitute. I get it in the streets, I'm like, you're the prostitute! Get in front! I'm like, no. I play a prostitute in
It's not going through out of the nouns.
No, people shout out in the street. Yeah.
Got another question then? Oh, sorry.
Oh, hi. This one's to the mountain. I just want to know what size feet you are.
Size 49 European, which is about 14 UK, 14 and a half.
I'm a 35.
I like the way you said it. That's good after you said the size.
Sorry, size.
Yeah.
And usually I have to buy online. I don't have much choice in the shops.
Yeah, discount?
No.
You threatened to chop the head off to get it. Okay. Next question.
This is to the mountain. What's your favourite experience in Game of Thrones?
Working with Buster Reeves actually, who's his fight choreographer. That's the first time I've worked with someone at that level, and he was really good to work with, and he gave me some, how to say, he was rather nice to me in that he let me go from the stunt training they had me start for a week for the sword fight with the Hound, and after the first 30 minutes he called the office and said, Conan's ready, you can use him for something else. So I really appreciated that.
Excellent, right. You got another question? Get your hands in if you want something.
Hand over there.
Well, I've got mics to go.
This is more of a generalised question for all of you. It's what's the most difficult episode you've ever filmed or had to be involved in?
Well, for myself, I can only answer for myself. Season 4, when when you see me carrying the baby out of a snowstorm, it was really difficult because we started with a massive, massive fan that they used outside and loads of fake snow, which is just shredded paper, and tons and tons of smoke, not real smoke, but sort of like dry ice. And my horse started to rear and buck, and we were blind, and I couldn't see or hear anything at all. And all I could hear was somebody go, "Action!" And then my horse wrangler went, "It's not safe, don't go." And then I just started going, and I was riding, and it was crazy. I started to slide down the horse a bit because I was riding bareback, and just kind of climbing myself up the horse with this rubber baby like that. And then I came out of the smoke, and Michelle McLaren was like, "Oh wow, okay, that was really good, but you need to do it again." Hardest for me.
I'm just trying to think about the hardest episode for me. I mean, all of mine have been, I really love my work, so tomorrow's episode that you'll see was quite difficult to film, but I can't discuss that because it's not out yet. Oh, you've already seen it? No, you haven't seen it, it's not out until tomorrow. Anyway, the only other scene I would say that was probably a bit awkward was when, when I came up with Podrick, Peter Dinklage kept putting his hand out because he's so small. He kept trying to touch me in the wrong place. And it felt quite awkward when I was filming it, but that was the only awkward thing about it. But there's nothing, everything's been totally fine in my film, and I really enjoy it. So.
I had in my first ever appearance in season 3, I'd actually filmed my first ever scene with a broken foot. And so I'd broken my foot 3 days before flying out to filming. And so I asked him to put it in a boot so that I could go on a plane to Belfast. And as I was filming, I took the boot off, and it was the first time I'd been under the cameras. It was very nerve-wracking anyway. And as I got up to run to Stannis, my foot buckled underneath me, and I went head first straight into his chest. And Stephen, he stays in character, and so it was really awkward.
My most difficult episodes to film was when they actually took the second unit to Morocco, so I didn't actually get to film them. But it was supposed to be filmed with Peter Dinklage doing some battle scenes with him running between my legs and around him and being a little smarter, using me as a human shield. So, unfortunately, no one gets to see those.
For me, well, I was only in 3 episodes, and I had a great time on all of them, so it wasn't really anything difficult I could talk about. The only thing I could say is that in season 2, when we attack Yoren and Arya when they're bringing people up for the Night's Watch, is that the armour that they had me wearing was authentic, so it weighed a ton.
They do weigh a ton.
It weighed so much, and long days filming, so by the end of it, I couldn't actually, I had to have somebody take the armour off me. I was just locked like this, going back in the car, so it took about 2 hours before I was able to sit down properly, so that was the hardest thing. Not too bad.
Great, okay, next question then. Hands up.
There's a question out there.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. My question is, who can do the best Egret impression? Who can do the best Nathan Jones film?
He's got tried them.
I'm not very good at that. People think mistakenly for Ingrid quite a lot. They say, yes, you were the one that got shot with an arrow. I say, no, it's not. Oh, that was last year. Well, in case you haven't seen it, sorry. Don't know, that wasn't me, I wasn't shot.
I can't do it because I haven't watched the TV, I actually read the books, so...
I'll probably offend someone.
I can do my really North American dragon. You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Hi, if you could choose from all the characters, which one would you like to have played other than yourself?
I'll start with that one if you don't mind. I actually chased Sir Gregor from prior to the pilot even being greenlit, so I would like to play Sir Gregor. Actually took 2.5 years.
Really? Wow. For me, Oberyn Martell, I think, was just badass. He was just super cool.
You felt my bum.
Did he? I wish Oberyn Martell had felt my bum. No, he was, yeah, for me, Oberyn, he was just, yeah. Coolest, yeah.
Gosh. I guess Queen of the Dragons for me. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. Cool outfits, amazing dragons, and you get to shoot in a hot climate, not up in Northern Ireland, which is very beautiful in itself, but a little chilly. Yeah.
It rains from time to time.
Yeah, it does occasionally.
I mean, I don't know who. I mean, do I need to be another woman, or can I be a man? Okay, so probably Jon Snow. Because, like, I mean, he's like one of the longest living characters, isn't it? It's like it's like longer in it, the better.
Daenerys, she's got dragons. Who doesn't want dragons?
As an appendix, as an add-on, that's quite good, isn't it? Just to have dragons.
And she walks through fire naked, and she doesn't.
Yeah, useful.
Pretty handy.
Good skills.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. See everything else right next to it?
This one for sort of all of you, but what was your most embarrassing moments while filming on set?
For who?
For all of you, what's your most embarrassing moment?
Well, having tasked to go to the toilet, because I'm covered from head to toe in prosthetics, so whenever I need the loo, it's like a bit of a chore. Everybody kind of has to join me. So that's always a little embarrassing. And then also, if you watch the Game of Thrones bloopers, which is on YouTube, you see me fall off my horse, which is pretty much stationary. I just my face.
During season 2, when we're the battle scene again, we're running in to attack the camp, and I think it was like the second take, and all the guys are coming in on horseback, but for some reason they have me running in on foot. And just as we're about to come in, one of the horses kind of went to the side and just knocked me flat in my face. So we had to
What's with these horses?
What?
All the horses seem to be.
Precarious.
Yeah. They need to have a casting.
Better horses.
Yeah, better horses.
I didn't have any particularly embarrassing. Although the horse I cut its head off once it stood up, it eyeballed me and I stomped with my big toe. I lost the toenail for that.
I've already said my most embarrassing thing, so...
Mine, well, I'm not embarrassed about what I do, but basically in season 4, when I put my leg over my head, there's about 30 people behind me, all the production crew, hair, makeup, and that, and so I put my leg over my head, everyone can see up my hole. I mean, I wouldn't say it was embarrassing, it was just a bit awkward, uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, I could be most embarrassing.
Yeah, there was about 30 people behind me just literally directly looking right
It's
up
up there,
there.
really.
So,
Okay, next question. Let's have
there's loads of hands
it.
here.
They're working their way forward.
There's some at the front as well. Just
This is a question for all of you. What's your own personal opinion of your characters?
Bloody brilliant.
Just really
say chronic pain, possible brain tumours or something like that.
Desperately in need of moisturizer.
Me too.
Okay, we've got a lot in the front question-wise, I think. Phil.
Yeah, there's a few hands over there.
Okay, let's see if we can ask Pikachu.
Pikachu.
For the mountain, regarding Sir Robert Strong, have you been cast, or is anyone? Are you not allowed to talk about that?
I'm not being cast, so I've got no NDA, so I can talk as much as I want. I heard nothing at all.
I know nothing.
I actually know nothing about any of the recasting, so yeah.
Fair enough.
Sorry for that. I don't think it matters who they put in there anymore, because we won't go into the spoilers zone. Yes.
Okay.
To the White Walker, how long does it actually take for the transformation?
5 hours. So I'm in the makeup chair at 1 o'clock in the morning for a 6 o'clock start, and then I have a 12-hour shoot, and then it takes me a couple of hours to get out of makeup and then get back to the hotel, have a little sleep, and then I'm back in the chair at 1 again.
I bet you've still got makeup on as well, like after they don't compete.
Yeah, bits of glue and stuff, but yeah. But I normally only shoot for about 3 days, but they push me to 4 sometimes. But you get to sleep a bit on set, so it's not all that bad, and they take care of me really well, but I can endure it. But 5 hours in makeup.
There's a lot of waiting around.
That's what I thought as well. I was planning. But I don't have a costume, so I'm alright.
Okay, next question.
Hey guys, I've got a question for Kerry. What do you think your character thinks of Sandra?
Well, I think she's just scared of her. She doesn't really like to show it because she's not that kind of person, but I think she does feel intimidated. She knows what she's capable of, and she knows that she's a dangerous person, so she is quite aware of that, but she isn't one to show her concern, which is where I think more of her dad shows in her. She doesn't like to show her cause of concern.
Good question.
Hi, just want to clear a problem with contention. Do you know if Theon Greyjaw's linehead has actually been cut? Or is it much it's quite clear on the episode where Ramsay is supposed to cut Theon's manhood? Do you know anything about that?
No.
Well, the castration thing we're talking about.
Did they?
Is it like how much? Do you want like a length?
Was it real?
Do you want to know if they actually cut off his...
Yeah.
Was it Frank Gambino?
No, dragons aren't real. Zombies aren't real. No, they don't cut people's...
He's disappointed that it wasn't more graphic.
Oh, right, yeah, I suppose, but no, it's all fake. You mean like a dummy or something?
Leave it up to the audience's imagination.
Yeah. That's what Game of Thrones they try to suggest. A lot of things are suggestive.
I think it was clear enough. They sent the box to his father with it in it. Yeah. I reckon it was it.
Okay, next. Nice one. One's there.
Given that we had a flashback in the first episode of this season, if there's going to be more flashbacks, what characters would you like to see a bit more of a backstory?
Me.
Oh, you see Cersei, you see flashback to Cersei.
Oh, right, okay.
I'd like to see, personally, I'd like to see Ned Stark again.
No,
started watching the season yet, but yeah, I can't think of anybody backstory. I guess Daenerys, like that'd be really cool, like very far back, the story with her and her brother, you know? That'd be pretty cool.
Okay, next question.
This is for all of you, but the mountain mostly, which characters I'm sure you at least like working with? And why?
I can't say because I'll just get too rude, so I won't say anything.
Normally we get like, who do you most enjoy working with?
No, who do you hate? Who do you hate? No, I can't tell you because... Come on, tell us. I can't, I really can't. I don't like to bitch about people. It's not my, I'm not like that.
Is it because they're...
Just a couple of people that are just a bit deep-ish and like... it just does my head in. But that's why they died. So it's alright.
Personally, there was, for the first season, everyone was rather excited about the whole concept, the budget, what they were actually doing with the sets. So no one was difficult to work with, everyone was very excited. Especially being English actors in a major TV show like this was, well, myself Australian, sorry, but we were all very excited about it. It was a big opportunity, and obviously hadn't been on TV yet, we didn't know what was going to happen. But it really looked like it was going to fly, and it did. So no one was difficult at that stage at all. Everyone was brilliant to work with.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Yeah. Everybody, all the actors and all the crew were all lovely. I couldn't say a bad word about any of them.
Myself included. I had a really, really good time working on the set. And I worked for quite a few months prior to it with them developing the makeup and going through screen tests and doing horse riding scenes and stuff, and everybody is really, really cool. It's a really nice show to work on, as is Doctor Who. Very similar. They have a lot of integrity with the way they work.
I think as it went along, like, because I'm in season 2, 3, 4, and 5, and as it went along from season 2, people started to get a bit, you know, oh, I'm in Game of Thrones, I'm above everyone now. And I don't really like that sort of people. You've got to be real. So, yeah.
I haven't worked with anyone that has been, you know, not nice, so I don't really have anyone that comes to mind.
Okay, let's move on to the next question.
Who's your best friend on the cast?
That's a nicer question, isn't it?
Well, I spent a fair bit of time with Finn Jones with riding school after they sent me from the sword fighting, so I got to know him quite well. That was about the only person I got to really spend a lot of time with, besides the stunt riders.
Yeah, for me, it's the makeup team that I work with, I would say, are my best friends on set, because they're just with me all the time, always touching me up, and... Who doesn't like to be touched up? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I was only in 3 episodes, but I worked with Maisie, plays Arya, in all 3 episodes, so I could say I got along best with her, yeah, she's cool.
I work a lot with Liam. Liam's really cool. So probably Liam.
And mine would probably be, well, when I arrived to season 2, the first day we went to the Eminem concert with all of the cast and the writers, and I became really good friends with Dan and David, the writers, so we talked quite a lot. And also Pixie the Knot that was in season 3, the contortionist, we hung around quite a lot, go out for a drink and stuff, so yeah.
Great. Okay, I think we haven't got time, let's keep going with these questions.
Hi guys, one for all of you. At the end of it, after the one walks the door with and everyone's killed each other, who do you think will sit on the Iron Throne versus who do you want to sit on the Iron Throne?
probably Tyrion. I mean, he's the wisest one out of everyone. I mean, he's probably the person that's not that he doesn't have a massive claim to it anymore, but you know, he's probably the best man for the job. If you put it that way.
Yeah, I'll probably agree with Kerry as well. I would say it's Peter Dinklage, Tyrion, or whatever you want to call him.
I think I'd like to see Tyrion, but I have a feeling it would be Daenerys.
Yeah, exactly.
It's better than Joffrey anyway.
I'd like to see. I'd like to see John Bradley's character on there, you know, but it'll probably be like Daenerys. So, I think, but that'll be cool. That'll be very cool. I hope. Could be a real dragged out fight.
Okay, next question.
This is a question for Kerry. When did you get inspired in acting?
Well, I've always been quite small for my age. I'd say when I was 9, I was probably around 3'5"-ish, so I was tiny. And I had a neighbour who did a very small local acting class, and she used to take me every week, and we did small little community shows. And then after that, I went on to more sort of amateur productions in local theatres. And then after, there was a girl in one of my amateur shows who did some West End shows, and she recommended a website that shows open auditions for stuff, and I started in theatre. And with theatre, I then went on to film and TV. So,
Right.
Yeah, question basically maybe for all of you. I don't know if you've all read the books. Mountain said that he has read the books. I'd like to know whether, is there any, they've said that they've changed a lot of, not a lot, some of the scenes and people that have died in the series compared to the books. Is there anything from the books that you'd like to have seen in the series that's not in the series?
Yeah, in the books apparently I was supposed to get material, and I haven't. I've got with everyone else, but not him. Well, he gets me with Pod, doesn't he, in season 3? But in the books, it says that I actually have a proper relationship with him and stuff. That hasn't happened.
Yet.
Maybe. Might get lucky.
I don't know, in the books the mountain stays the same all the way through.
I've not read the books, so I can't really comment.
Okay, next question.
Hi, are there any souvenirs you managed to snag from the set, or anything you've particularly got your eye on?
This is the Wrexham question you get. Do you steal stuff off set?
I kept my ears, actually, for about 4 months, and then I saw them when I pulled out my washing bag, and I saw them all wrapped up in cellophane, and I just thought, I'll throw those in the garbage.
Did you not get
It's disgusting. No.
Because I don't have anything on, so they give me, like, when I go into costume, they go, right, we'll give you some earrings, a ring, and an anklet, and they finish. And then, but at the end of they hire those from a museum, so they're very strict on having them back at the end of the day.
My ears are going in the bin.
I still bottles of water though.
I did steal something from the season 5 set that I can't say, but
Was it Liam Cunningham?
But other than that, I didn't. I have these tiny little hair ties at the end of my hair, and they're like tiny strips of leather, and I usually steal them at the end of every year. But I have got season 3. I went in for a kind of prosthetic fitting, and they had made me a mould of my head. And I've got two of them now. I've got one that's it's completely like it's foam, and it's got the grayscale on it. And then I've got one that is just my face. One like it's wearable. So it's really weird. But yeah, I've got them.
Makes me not stills in. Stills your
Yeah.
identity.
It's scary. People walk into my friends walk into my room and they're like, "What is that?" Because I've got two of my face just on my side.
It's popular, the old theft question in the Wrexham comic con. In the Harry Potter one, we had all the tales of trying to steal the wands and just in the socks and the pants and everything.
Oh, that's yeah. They give you like fluffy socks like in between scenes because the floor in the castle was like really dirty. I always take those.
So you steal socks?
Yeah.
Is that a question? Yeah. Okay. Right, next one. If you got that now.
This is Oliver. When you get killed off in season 4 by a 14-year-old, is there, how did you find it? And if there's anybody else that you get killed off by, who would it be?
Yeah, I got a lot of slagging about it, you know, getting killed by a 14-year-old girl. In fairness now, she did sneak up behind me and kind of sliced my hamstring, so I was... and I'd just been knocked out by the hound, so I was pretty groggy.
You sound like someone who's had to defend this quite a lot.
No, actually, no, I've no complaints. It was a great death scene, and I really like it. I was really happy with the scene. So, and Arya's a cool character as well. So there could be worse characters to be killed by.
Okay, I think we've got time for one more question, so make it a good one.
Just go okay.
All right, I think we're identifying.
Multicoloured cap, red shirts.
That's the future teacup.
He's the man.
You want me on the
Yeah.
Is this in the show now? Or? Is this later this evening? Was that the question? He's just going to ask it again louder.
No. Obviously, Game of Thrones spoilers is a big thing with people, and they don't like being told. But for those of you that do watch the show, or even just scenes, is there anything? Obviously, you're privy to things we don't know. But watching it back, is there anything you were ever shocked by? Any of you, all of you, anything you're ever shocked by when you watch it back? Because even though you're part of something, you might not know the bigger picture when you see it put together. Is there anything like that's ever surprised you?
I don't get shocked by anything. I love like American Horror Stories, all that sort of stuff, like really graphic, gory stuff. So.
I have no idea what goes on because I don't get the full scripts because I'm under 16. So apart from what I do, everything's new to me, so I have no idea.
Are you allowed to watch the show?
Well, I am now.
You are now. I read the first Q&A that you hadn't seen.
No, well when I was cast, I was 12, so I hadn't seen any of it. And then I came to Wales last year, and it was a Q&A.
You said they cut some of the script out as well, don't they? So that you can't
Yeah,
see
no,
it.
we were at a script read in season 3, and they're very good with what the children get exposed to. And so we were reading like every single episode. And when it got to an inappropriate bit, they would change the wording. But they forget we can read. So we're sat here with these scripts, and they say something like, no, that's not what it says here. That, and because it was season 3, I was actually sat next to the lovely Rose Leslie, and they kind of read out the scene in the cave. It's an interesting.
Right?
I'm the guy hired to do the physical or the violent shocking scenes in pretty much everything I do, so it doesn't surprise me when I see the final cut.
Obviously, you're in that scene, the famous scene where you chopped the head off a horse. Did you worry at all? So that's a reaction.
Have you ever worked with horses?
Well, the horse lovers out there, do you think this might, I might get some stick for this?
Horse hater.
Yeah.
Well, anyone who really loves the horse spends time with the horse and knows what they're like, so they probably felt like it a few times themselves.
Yeah, I guess it's always interesting to see what you've shot, for myself anyways, because they add a lot of CGI afterwards for my surrounding effects. So I work on a green screen, so I get to see a lot only afterwards. So that's quite amazing. I wouldn't say I'm shocked by it, but it's pretty incredible. The Red Wedding I thought was shocking. I mean, I kind of expected it and knew it was going to happen, but the way they shot it and played it out, that was incredible. They always push the boundaries. The show always does, with the horse's head being cut off, as for instance. It was like, wow, that stuff just blows me away. I think, wow, okay, they set the bar again.
Do you think?
And the episode just before and after the Red Wedding with me and Ilaria.
Oh yeah.
Quite shocking as well, I suppose. You know, the orgy.
Do you think as the books and the TV show kind of like going their separate ways, do you think there'll be more effort to keep things completely secret now? Because obviously...
Well, no, because the writers from Game of Thrones always consult with George R. R. Martin about what are they allowed, how far they're allowed to go off and on the books, because he's the writer of the books, so he doesn't want it to be changed. He wrote the story, but they're the writer of the shows, so they have to put their own stamp on it, but they can't go too far off track.
They've caught up with the books now.
Yeah.
So no one.
But they asked George R. R.
That's what I mean. Is do you think there'll be now that it's all just completely, an unknown territory? Is there going to be more effort to keep things completely secret and sort of locked down and set?
I don't know, it's quite, I mean, because people have read the book, if they've read the books and they sort of know what's going to happen, but you don't know what's going to happen in that scene. This might be something totally that wasn't in the books. Like I said, I was supposed to material, I'm not. It could be, you don't know.
They were saying the other day on a talk show that people come up to them all the time with their crazy theories of how it's going to play out, and they said one person who they did not know had got it completely on the money, so... Well, I don't know who that person is.
We shall see.
But they said they had to try very hard to keep a straight face as this person just rolled out exactly what they were planning to do on the next few seasons of Game of Thrones. So there is one person out there.
They're writing season 6 as we speak right now.
Right. Okay, well, unfortunately, we have run out of time. So if you'd like to put your hands together and thank